back again. Jiggity jing. Back to our mystery of missing pigs. Well, the mystery itself doesn't seem to be going so swimmingly. No piggy carcasses, not even that big old boar with the ogre in the woods, but they do have some goat heads. Perhaps that can get them some sort of deal. Or perhaps it's simply time to find a nice quiet spot to relax, lick their wounds before pressing onwards. Wouldn't want to make the Inquisition unhappy. It's sloppy work. Well, raise the curtain.
On an entirely OOC level, I would have been 100% fine with turning this in for sloppy work if it wasn't for the Inquisition.
I know you would.
Knowing our luck, we are going to meet our precious Swine King again, and he's going to ruin us. So. We have looted this area as much as it can be looted, correct?
Yep.
We have a bunch of Fomor heads to prove that we have at least probably killed what's raiding this guy, to maybe at least get a reward from Ham that we can then use to prepare for what actually is out there.
This is what you managed to find. A few weeks' rations, I'll post it in a sec. A few weeks' rations, sour wine, a weathered knife that has, in the shape of twin birds, a painted longbow, 30 arrows, 15 silver, and 76 copper.
Did we already split the money or not?
I don't think so.
I think
we didn't even worry about exactly what we got.
Yeah, we didn't.
Fine. Signing up.
It's an uneven number and I hate it. Okay, actually wait, copper is... You know, we're just gonna go and turn it in at town, because, like, if it's 10 copper to 1 silver, we can at least get it's like... It's a relatively even an amount of money. Yeah. Okay, whatever. It's just gonna be in a pool of stuff that we have, assumably, and then we can, like, offload the sour wine on someone. We'll let Miguel do the talking when we're in town.
Oh, this is definitely something you're going to have. It's an exotic spice.
Exotic spice of extra special vintage down from the heartlands of Somersetshire.
Of what? Somersetshire.
Somersetshire. Very exotic.
What, have you not heard of the eastern realms of Somersetshire? Philistine. Okay. So, you said you are retreating back outwards to speak to Ham, correct?
That would be the prudent thing unless anyone wants to do anything out in the clearing. The
Nope.
Fomor-ridden clearing.
Real quick.
Let's go bank.
Can I find a kind of a decent, like, I don't know, just like cut a part of a log or whatever,
Out of a log?
board of sort? Don't ask
Um,
why.
You can. I was gonna say you can probably find like a decent branch. You could spend time
Yeah,
hacking off part of a hacking off part of a log or something.
A branch will.
Branch it is. So you all wander out of that area of the woods and head onwards towards the farm. Now you can see the large gate off in the distance, kind of surrounding Ham's place. You can see the hogs out back in that little pig pen, of course. Now, you're all approaching, and how are you doing so? Are you taking any special precautions? Are you doing anything of note, or are you just sort of walking up to say hello?
I don't quite know what we're doing. Where
I
we're
mean,
going.
I guess I'm
Skip along.
gonna let, man, I guess I'm gonna just go in the middle of the group. That sounds safe. Maybe we should call out in advance, be like, oh, hi, Ham.
Hi, Ham.
You know, like, let him know we're coming so he doesn't just, like, shoot one of us with a crossbow.
Okay. So you're all
I'm
approaching.
just walking up.
I mean, we're carrying a bunch of Fomor heads on a stick. He might panic.
All right. So you're all approaching. And let's see, is Ham inside or outside? Blue his house with the blue little outside. Okay. So you can see Ham sort of standing there. He's staring at his pigs, all from the pen. Honestly, if you didn't know the guy as well as you do, because I mean you had such long and interesting relationships with this man, you might think he was looking at the pigs for other reasons. It's a pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
intense
like the
glare.
long and interesting relations are reserved for his pork buddies that he's porking.
Well, ew.
You're welcome.
Also ew. But okay, so you're approaching the gate and you're seeing him kind of staring at the pigs, and who's calling out?
It ain't gonna be me.
Yeah, the goat lady.
Farmer Ham! Farmer Ham, how are you doing? We're back.
Alrighty. So he hears the familiar voice of the old guy he met once. And he slowly turns his ass around and he stares at all of you. Okay, now what do you think he looks at first?
Probably, I'm gonna say he's gonna probably glance over at the Faun and then at the Fomor heads and then back at the Faun and be like, why is she not a head on a pike?
Let me see if I can make this really obvious.
Okay, yeah.
Let me just, there we go. Is that enough arrows?
That is an adequate amount of arrows.
Okay, so he stares directly at Lalita as you're all trotting up, and his face basically tightens up. It's like someone's trying to, like, close an umbrella inside of his head. Just this. And he glowers from where he stands, watching you all get closer with a sneer.
Just smile and wave.
Hello!
Well, you seem pretty upset to say we're trying to help you out. Don't worry. This guy isn't dead. He's just unconscious. We found him in the woods.
Right. And so he kind of like looks over and he starts walking closer to you. He's obviously not cheerful right now, but he approaches the gates and he sees all of you on the other side, and he's, hey, you missed one.
Oh, I'm not. We're different goat people.
If you had said poopy pee butt cheese, he'd probably have a more pleasant expression right now. And it's talking.
Yeah, she's domesticated.
Then where's its leash?
Magically put there by the clergy? Yes.
Don't see no leash. Don't trust that thing.
That's fine. Also, under our watch, the important thing is we found a number of the creatures that were raiding the surrounding area and put them to the sword.
He does look at the heads of the ones, and he leans down, he waggles little finger, beckoning you to bring the head nearer, or one of them.
We should bring the warg head because I think it was more impressive. I guess we like tentatively dangle a warg head on a stick to him.
All right. So he leans over and he jabs his grubby finger through the fence and he pokes the head a few times, making it squelch. Seems real to me. All right. So what? This solves it? No more pigs disappearing?
That's our hope. Unless there's even more things out there, but we wiped out their entire camp. That's why we have a parade of heads and not just one.
Right. I'll wait 3 nights. No more pigs disappear by then. You did your job right. And you get your payment.
Sounds good. In the meantime, I think it would also be good to just set these up around, because in case anything else does try to move into the surrounding area like Fomor, maybe they'll think twice.
Fine by me. You can set them up, or you can toss them over, and I'll set them up myself.
It just like whispers over to like, whispers over to, God damn it. Hey, Shrimp, what's your character's name? Because I blanked.
Frank.
Right.
Right, just have to think
Frankly,
about
I'm
slipping
shocked.
them the old Frankfurter. Because he's ancient. You're welcome. Anyways, Frank, just ditch it over the fence. We're not getting paid to set this up, and we need to find somewhere to stay. just quietly to him.
I don't remember if I have my sword arm, sword arm out or not, but I guess I'll just.
Don't think you
open
would
and
have
toss
for
them.
returning when we were coming back to like civilization.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were also the one that's actually dragging the like guy who has been chopped up and vivisected. So I don't
Okay.
think you have your sword arm.
I
All
hope
right.
you don't.
I'm
In
also
that
just
case-
briefly picturing that we've like leaked a whole bunch of Fomor blood on this poor guy.
No, I don't think Frank's carrying any of the heads.
Oh, I just meant by sheer
Yeah.
proximity with everyone else too, though.
I mean, not unless you're like waving them around. You're like singing folk songs like, hey, up she rises, and like flinging them around in circles.
That would be funny.
I mean, now that you've suggested
maybe you were
it,
doing that and spreading former blood throughout the forest as you walked around, trying to attack the attention of anything that smells blood. And I mean, if that's the case,
no,
I'm down with it.
I'm
Also,
good.
when you went, that wasn't the thing I expected you to say afterwards. I was expecting Macarena.
I was as well.
Actually, yes.
We could.
Chopping off the goat heads, then we put them up on sticks. We stabbed them in the heart because they were acting like dicks. Anyways.
Yeah, I guess I've got the guy over my shoulder and I help him throw the heads over the fence.
Now we delivered them to this uneducated hick. Hey, Macarena.
Hey. To be honest, if Frank is holding this guy, the other people are going to have to throw the heads over the thing because
Yeah, it's fine.
he's holding up the mostly chopped up guy.
We deliver
So
onto
heads are
him
yeeted.
heads.
I'm not going to make you make checks for that. You know what? I'm going to make one person make a check. Alistair, make me a check.
Oh, great.
Because
It
you're weak
just-
as fuck.
Just okay. Well, it's like a 1d20 minus 1.
Mhm.
Wow, doesn't even clear the fence.
My thing is not. Ah, there it is. Okay, so everybody else throws their heads up, and as Alistair does, it flips up, hits the side of the fence, and is basically bounced back into his face. So he gets basically bloody neck stump directly on the face. It's a very unpleasant squelching sound, and it smells terrible.
Just like busy, you know that thing where you like just flail your hands at something while you're trying to push it away from you? That as he like stumbles over to the fence and like flails it over and it's just like
And so Ham is busting a gut. He's just,
You know, Alistair, he needed help. He just needed to.
just death glaring you, but underneath like the caked on blood might be a little hard beneath.
Delilah does not share her plans to throw a lasso over you.
someday, Ham, you will be the hog. So, anyways. Okay, so he's, all right, now get on with you. Come on back tomorrow. We'll see if my hogs have been safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying he bends down a little bit and he kind of snatches up the heads with his fingers and drags them up by their hair and starts waddling away.
Sorry, I'm just trying to like picture the energy behind the waddle.
Picture a man who has an egg for a head, a large egg for a belly, gout, like severe gout, so that he really can't walk without a cane. Basically trying to hold himself up with a cane on one side while holding like several lumpy heads in his fingers on the other side. So imagine like a seesaw, but one side has a spring. That's basically how he waddles.
Great.
Well, guys, let's head on back to well, not back to, but to the town for the first time. I'm kind of tired.
I don't know. Is it my first time to this town, or I think I've just been wandering.
I believe you've been mostly in the
First for me.
forest, yeah.
First for me.
And we head to the town, I suppose.
All right. Now, I believe you all have horses that you left in this general area, right?
Yeah, which means we can totally strap like the Looney Tunes guy onto the saddle of like one of them.
It's true. Though, where's the other person going to?
See, my actual suggestion for if we're gonna have someone strap up onto the saddle, etc., because we're already gonna have to double up because we didn't have the Faun with us at first.
It's true.
So, I guess I'll take the Faun because at least she's not a frothing, gibbering sociopath or like just a mind broken whatever.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, okay, you're not a mind broken chew toy yet. I mean, give it time. You're hanging with the right kids, but like,
Hanging with the cool kids?
Hanging with the cool kids. Soon you'll be murdering helpless fishermen.
Oh no. That was a little too specific.
Yeah, it was pretty specific, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
You've been very musical today, Sasha.
I am always musical.
Y'all don't know about my musicalness.
Shout out the Demon Lord, the musical.
The musical, the game.
When it's all sorts of kind of demonic and cult-like shenanigans, it'll be fun.
I'll ride with Chunky Guy or whatever.
Chunky guy.
Did you just say junkie guy?
I think he's a chunky guy.
Oh,
You know, like because he's in chunks.
junkie guy, and I was like, I mean, I guess after this, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably. He's not gonna be too thrilled after all this. So, everybody, do me a favor and hit me with that perception.
Ooh.
alrighty, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh wait, right. There's a shortcut to just hit perception. I knew that. I didn't forget.
Did you?
I didn't forget.
Totally, sure. We'll go with that.
Look.
Need to make a small note. Alistair will pay for the domesticated comment.
I mean, to be fair, Ham might have had a crossbow.
I'm pretty sure we saw him with a crossbow.
And?
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, looting her dead body could have been profitable. On the other hand, she did help. And that was really the best bit of improv I could think of at the time because our actual face isn't here.
Yeah, Miguel, by the way, is I'm gonna say though he didn't take much damage, he was kind of stunned by what hit him. So he's kind of like, oh man, I'm recovering. I can't really think too much. Can't think too well. Can't talk like at all.
Rest in peace, Miguel's player.
I believe he was like feared or something before too.
Let's see. I've got
He's making sure I
Delilah,
don't get weird.
Delilah, Frank, and Alistair.
Please just submit. Please.
Just roll, little. Oh, okay.
There we go. It'll be fine.
Okay.
That was a strength roll.
Was it? What the fuck?
Yep. My eyes are so strong.
I can see colors.
I can show you the world.
I can show you the board.
Why can't I? What is happening to me? So how did this happen to me? It'll happen eventually, guys. It'll be fine. Thank God. Thank you.
And your perception is +3, right?
Yeah.
Right, so
It'll be
you
fine.
got a 12 then. Okay. But in any case, it doesn't actually matter because all you need is a 10, so you still succeed. So, As you're traveling down the road, you're on a bit of a winding path and kind of cuts this way and that way. It's a long countryside. 10 miles isn't exactly like, the end of the world, but it's a decent length of time, especially since you were getting to Farmer Ham's place around like 9 p.m. So you're riding 10 miles into the night to get to where you're going. Now, while you're on the way there, it is specifically Alistair and Lalita who noticed early there seems to be a kind of a wooden, I want to say palisade, I'm not sure that's the right term. There's a wooden, basically, set of blocks in the road from one side to the other, and there appear to be 3 guardsmen standing behind it, each in there looking a little bored, wearing their armor and just sort of staring bleakly off ahead of themselves. And they're scanning the road. Now, you're not like directly in front of them here yet, but you two can see them in the distance, and they appear to be watching for people who are riding along the road. Blockade, that's it. They've got their wooden blockade.
Shoot me too.
Maybe we should cover your horns. Give me a second. I'm like quickly gonna check my inventory and see if there's anything there that'd okay. No, the ultraviolet / ultra-violent robes would not be a good choice here. 'Cause they look really culty, right? Yeah.
But the robes? I mean, yeah, though, in your favor, not a lot of people know the difference between culty and magical in the first place. But
magic
against you, not a lot of
magic
people know the difference between...
You know what we're gonna do is just like a... Do you have like anything you can put over your head?
No.
No, okay, one second. Hey, Delilah! One of you two, do you have something we can put over her horns to cover them for a second? An extra cloak? Anything?
I would say, I have, priest vestments, but then the inverted colors of the new god. So,
okay,
I don't think that's a good idea.
Here's what I'm doing.
It's a great idea.
I have a sack we could put
Okay,
over
you know
her
what?
head.
Hold still a second. I like pull out the cloak and I just start bundling it around her horns like a turban. So she's just wearing this like the robe over her head as like sort of a turban. I just use like the hood part to sort of like stuff it into place. There. This is fine.
All right.
Just don't move.
Okay.
Much.
So now, as you are on horseback, so the question is, how are you approaching? Are you like going single file? Are you just kind of marching across the road like a bunch of superheroes? Like, how are you going like 2 by 2? How are you doing?
Obviously, we're gonna be intimidating and all be lined up.
like the fucking
I mean, I think 2 by 2 is probably the smart thing for actual casual travel.
Yeah.
And since it's a guard post, we're not going to just try and run off.
Is it a guard post or is it actual just bandits?
It turns out it's just bandits. Okay, who's in front then? Like you could try and have Frank there with the injured guy to try and be like, hey, we need you to not block us off because we got to go in a hurry. Or you can try and keep him back to be like, hey, as you can see, we're trying to keep
we could actually
safe.
put
Or
Frank
honestly,
in the
however
middle,
you want to do it.
because I mean that makes the most. I mean, okay,
What?
wait, how many of us are there's? Right, we were gonna have Frank in. There's 5 horses.
There are 5 horses.
Yeah, we could put Frank in the middle. So 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 1 in the middle, and no, there's 4.
Wait.
4.
Oh, sorry. There are.
Okay,
yeah,
so
there are
we
4
could put
horses.
Frank, I guess, probably at the front, because we'd be more likely to get attacked from behind, honestly, and we'd want the guards to see the wounded guy, so we could be like, yeah, we need to get help, not hide him. Definitely don't want him hidden. Also, Frank is a genuinely, like, wants to help people person, so we have him talk to them and not me, because I'd be like, Yawn. I guess we're delivering this guy to the town. Sigh. Such as it is.
Such a wasted opportunity.
I don't actually need to do anything shitty like forbidden magic. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but it could be fun.
Talk to like Delilah about that. They'd be. I'm pretty sure Lovey's character would be 100% like, yeah, let's do it. I'll crack out my like priest robes and everything. You're banned, by the way.
Damn.
Okay, so final decision. As Frank, okay, so speaking of which, I know Frank is with the hurt guy. Who else is doubling up on a horse?
Me and the Faun, I guess. That's how I could stuff the turban on her. The shitty turban.
Fair enough.
Could you use my name
goat?
instead of the sounds
The goat
a little
person.
Just call her Goat.
Faun.
Just call her Goat.
La-di-da.
Yeah, that'll
we
be
could call
good.
you
That'd be a lot
La-ti-ta.
Much more sensitive.
La-di-da.
Okay, so
Let's-
Lovey, please.
so Jesus Christ. So who's in front? I take it that Alistair and La-di-da are in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. And the front, are we? So here's the question: are you having Miguel in front? I'm going to assume that's a yes because he's your face man. Are you keeping the Frank and the injured guy up front, or
Honestly,
Delilah
I
up
think
front?
it should be Frank and the injured guy because the more we can keep Delilah out of the way, the better.
Delilah just shows up and they're like, "All citizens, hail Satan!" What? Immediately, kill him immediately. Hail Satan! Fuck
That
you.
and I'm picturing her just like doing like like the Gamagori from Kill la Kill, like the loom at them constantly, just looming at it. It's like we're being friendly here. Looms.
Oh my god.
So, how would you like to be tied up?
I can't tell if you're like asking me out or if you're talking to Lovey and asking them out.
The question is, yes. Or sorry, the answer is yes.
Delilah's a nice looking orc. I don't think there would be a problem. I'll ride in front with Miguel.
It'll be fun.
Okay, so you're approaching this barricade. Oh my god, I finally got it. You're approaching this barricade on horseback. I'm assuming you're slowing down, or are you keeping
Oh
at a
no,
quick
we're
pace?
slowing down. They'll murder the shit out of us if we run through. They have bows.
All right, so sure enough, these guards are standing behind there, and they've got kind of shoddy looking armor. Not gonna lie, it's not like it's not what you'd expect with like metal plates and all that. It's just kind of thick leather, but not every the place you're going to is called Hamlet, so it's a hamlet named Hamlet. Maybe they don't have the best equipment there. But regardless, this is still like 3 miles down the road from Hamlet anyways, so actually, good point. You're approaching, it's close to midnight right now, so it's like pitch black. Either way, so one voice rings out, it's halt there,
Yeah, I'm gonna slow the horse down.
travelers.
Hi.
Travelers,
I wave.
where are you headed to?
The small hamlet of Hamlet.
We're headed over to Hamlet.
Hamlet?
Like Alistair said, like just the small
we need
hamlet of
some help.
Hamlet, and then very quietly, Hicks.
Yeah, we normally wouldn't travel at night, but this guy, and I kind of like shuffle him on my shoulders, or however I'm carrying him. This guy seems to need a bit of help pretty soon.
See, when you sit on your shoulders, I just pictured Frank like fireman carrying him the whole way on his shoulders, like his shirt off, majestically just.
How old is Frank
I'm holding
again?
this man aloft for his own safety.
Linda.
He's like 70.
Is he 70?
Like, literally
Holy
70.
shit! So that would just
Something,
be
I don't
like Master Roshi muscles ripped.
Either way, it's looks to be in bad condition. Where'd you come from?
We were sent to go and assist Farmer Ham. We just finished up some of that and clearing out a pack of Fomor.
Clearing out a pack of foam, huh? They you can see them kind of like looking you over there, squinting in the darkness, and they're kind of like eyeing you up, specifically Frank and Delilah, and to a degree Alistair, because you guys look the most hurt. Yeah. Looks like they did quite a number on you, huh?
Not a good time, no.
Well,
got-
we also ran into the Swine King.
Yeah, you managed to.
Yeah, we also ran into the Swine King, and he kind of roughed us up.
So one of them is asking about medical care halfway through that, and he's so you happen to get any proper medical care? What? What's a swine
Alistair's just
king?
like doing like an X across his throat while looking at like our good buddy Frank, 'cause he doesn't want to explain that it's now 3-headed. It's we're pretty sure one of the Fomor got away, and it has Farmer Ham's pig on a chain, so we decided to give it an affectionate nickname. We're going back to stab it as soon as we're in tip-top shape.
I assume you're
Yeah.
looking a little rough right now. He's kind of like giving you this look like he it looks like he's seen a few injuries before, and he's like kind of like you got bitten by a wolf,
The
right? Like that's what
warg,
took
yeah.
your health off. You got mauled.
The warg.
Warg, yeah. So he's like looking at those bite wounds. He's like,
Yeah,
"That's
it
nasty."
wasn't just the because I recognized what the warg was at least, right? Yeah, so it's like
I believe so.
that was a warg. It's dead now. Its head is up on a pike in front of like Farmer Ham's residence, but it did not go down easy. I'd really appreciate medical care. Yes, thank you. Could you direct us, please? This hurts.
Yeah, so this guy in the middle actually like he picks up this sack that he's got beside him, and he pulls it open. And there's a few things in there, but he reaches in, he pulls out some medical supplies, like some bandages, and you can see a couple of
thank
capped
God.
off herbs, that sort of thing. And he's like, all right,
Right? Yeah,
off.
I'm gonna hop off the horse, and I'm just going to like carefully walk over, just be like, "Oh, thank you."
he's like, all right, any of you need medical care, get off your horses. Especially, and he points at the injured guy,
Right?
especially
Yes,
that one.
we should probably assist. He can't walk well. That's why we took him along.
So he puts kind of like mostly holds it in one hand and sort of half stuffs it back in the bag while he just kind of lifts it up and starts carrying it around. It makes a couple of clinking sounds. Right, so there we go. Yeah, so they come out from behind there, and okay. So who is getting medical care? Like who's getting off the horse?
I'm totally.
I'd say I
Take the
would.
injured guy off and get off as well.
Okay, so yeah, Miguel's barely hurt, so he's like, I'll stay up here, thanks, chaps. You take care of my friends. No need to waste your supplies on me. I'm feeling a little concussed right now. I don't think supplies can do much for me because I wouldn't drop the
if
story
you
right
have
now.
smelling salts just cram up his nose, that'd probably help to avoid him sleeping. Just like, thanks, Alistair.
Okay. Now I know that Lalita is hurt, but the question is, does she trust these guys enough to get down to get medical care, or is she worried that they're going to treat her and take the pseudo turban off and be like, oh, it's a witch killer?
It's a very good question. Those are some loaded questions. All right. Probably not. She's a very private person.
Okay, so like she has some injuries, but she's kind of gonna sit up on the horse and be like, nah, I'm good, thanks, it's fine.
I'm okay. The
Hmm?
worst.
I'm sorry, you slightly cut out there.
I said, I'm okay for now. It's not the worst, so it's not. I need immediate medical care, like some of our friends
you
here.
could always let
Fair
Delilah heal
enough.
you later.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
there's that too. You know,
Oh
someone who
no,
will-
not that. Just,
Yeah.
just.
hope not.
I don't think
The
she remembers
best of
what Delilah's
ideas.
healing does. It'll be fine. Okay,
It'll be
so
fine.
Delilah, you finally found a willing victim.
Yes,
Finally
take
found
my
someone
power.
Yeah.
Found someone who doesn't know enough to refuse.
I believe it's instinctive when they use the power, but for now, we'll
now, good times to be had later.
Okay.
Yep.
just. So let's see. So who's approaching first for just being healed? Just because he might have.
We should
limited
probably
medical
send
supplies.
Frank because he's done fucked up.
He kind of is. Okay, so Frank, you're first on the healing block.
I guess unless the Unless the injured guy is like actually hurt and not just
Oh no,
burnt
see, a lot of
over
the injured guy's stuff is
sealed
like
up in, I don't
permanent
know.
injuries
No.
for Lifu. He's
Yeah, he's clearly way more injured than any of you, but
He's
it's also
damaged to the point
that
that,
might
like,
be-
if we prioritize him first,
That might be like a thing
we're
forever.
probably not getting healing supplies. So my personal vote is you, then Delilah, then me, because Letitia said they're not having Lalita said they're not having any. Letitia, I don't even know how I
Letitia?
got that. Oh wait, I know
Letitia.
how I got that. I got that because Lovey went Latits.
West Philadelphia born.
Fucking, you jinxed the shit out of me, Lovey.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So, Frank, so the first guy comes in, he's like, all right, come on. And it looks nasty. It looks like you've caught a few, caught a few of those Fulmar spears, did you? And he kind of opens up the sack and he pulls out the medical supplies. And he goes, come here. And he kind of starts lifting up the bandages to start, wrapping your wounds.
All right. Thanks. Hey, they did rough me up a bit, especially the Swine King.
He just stops and gives you that look when you say that again, looking back to Alistair with that squint of, are you being serious
He's
with
also
me?
old. We made the affectionate nickname for him.
For his sake. And Linda.
I'm almost expecting it to be Aunt Linda's, and just like Alistair gives him like a look. See,
Okay, so the other, that one starts to tend to Frank. The other two are just kind of keeping an eye out, especially with all your tales of like Fomor and wargs and swine kings. They don't exactly look comfortable anymore. They're kind of looking agitated and kind of checking the woods. Well, not even the woods, but just the trees, and looking off in the distance and squinting to see if there's any deadly Fomor running for them from across the landscape.
Even though that's probably not how this works.
It might not be. Or maybe it is. So Frank got that?
Oh, yes. Oh, I don't have anything to say about that.
Okay. So he starts wrapping up your arm. Now, as he does, the other two are kind of like getting closer. Like, are you sure you're in decent fighting condition? They are still, you may have handled a few Fomor, but as you can tell, and he kind of gestures back to the barricade he's got up, as you can tell, these roads aren't exactly safe right now.
I think we're pretty. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think we're we're okay enough to make it to the town. We could probably last through one more battle, but has there been any incidents nearby recently?
Well, there has been some. Recently, there's been what the fuck? At least there's been a
when
wind
you're
tunnel
saying,
over
what
there.
the fuck? I'm
Apparently,
just expecting like, and one of the guards is eaten into the bushes and dies. Well,
it just dies instantly. So, yes. Unfortunately, it turns out there's a rash of bandits around here. I do suggest that if you come across them, you don't make too much of a fuss. I'd highly recommend you lay down your gold, your weapons, any valuables you have, then get back on your horses.
that's a
get
good
on
thing
with
we're
your
incredibly
lives.
poor then.
Yes, that it is. But for the time being, why don't you lay down your valuables? Why don't you lay down your weapons? Lay down anything that you have of value of any sort, and then get back on your horses and get on with your lives. Before we have our friends in the trees put those arrows to good use.
Should have fucking known.
Yeah, they did seem like bandits to me, but you guys laughed.
Frank's like, I told you, Linda had this exact same
and
thing
we got
happen.
like 0 healing, huh?
No, they basically wrapped a few things like around Frank's arm, but they have specifically taken
Yep.
their time.
I
Are we giving these guys their loot, or are we trying to kill them? Also, I would. Well, no, they might not be too bad. They're probably rogues, which are really strong.
Now, as a note, the two in the trees clearly have readied actions and are prepared to shoot as soon as there seems to be signs of a lack of cooperation.
I mean, I guess we can hand stuff over. Specifically, what you define as valuables, because like I said, we're broke, because Farmer Ham's a cheap bastard.
Oh, that's quite all right. Just put down your sacks, put down your anything you might be carrying, empty your pockets, then go ahead and kneel in the center right there. And kind of points over here. Kneel down, hands on your head, facing one another. We'll take what we find valuable and leave you to it.
Wait, hey Sasha. Do we still have that, the box? The one that ate Kai? I don't think we tried to open it again. I don't recall. Did we give it to the Inquisitors? Or did we just, like... I don't recall what the fuck we did. I think... Or did we just blame Kai on, like, yeeting themselves out?
You definitely blame Kai. It's like, okay, they're gone. All right, well then, yeah, they definitely did any bad things that you suspect that we did.
Yeah.
And then they left.
How many of them are there again?
There's only
in the trees.
There's only 3 of them directly around you, but they have positioned themselves to surround you as opposed to the protective barrier they claim to be forming. And then there's 2 in the trees that are ready to basically shoot anybody who does something they don't like.
Yeah.
I give him one. I start handing over the books of the new god.
God damn it! They're fucking religious people. Ugh.
Well, my children. As he starts handing out the books, I'm like, well, my children. I suppose that this is the blessings of the new god upon you.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the look on the guy's face when the first thing you turn over is a book of the new god kind of looks like he just accidentally stepped on a dog's tail.
And it's better because Frank just keeps having more of them. Because he...
Okay, so I think here's the thing, Frank. I want to see what you do with this. So you're handing over these books, and the guy like takes one, and then takes another one, and then takes a third one. And he looks and he's, "What were you doing? What are you doing with all these?"
The Inquisition handed over a few as gifts, so we could keep our faith during our mission, and I had several as well for my own collection.
Oh right, we're emissaries of the.
Are you a traveling preacher? And he's kind of looking, and he kind of looks at one of them. He's like, are they delivering books? Are they? He's kind of like edging a little further away from Frank and just coming over this way. I think they're delivering them. And he's holding out all these, like, he's got like 5 books of the new god. He's like, I think they're priests. Like, nonsense. They said they were slaying
emissaries of
foreigners.
the Inquisition here on behalf of the new god, such as it is. We are bringing faith to the faithless and getting rid of the blights that are on this land, especially the non-human ones.
You are interesting.
One quick thing before you continue. I'm just going to do a quick little perception check. Lalita, I know you have horns, and I know it's pitch black, so they're going to have boons
also the turban
on these, but do you look particularly human? I know I said the horns are covered.
I mean, I'm just kind of tan.
Really?
My pants are covering most of the
leg pieces?
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally everything else is covered but the horns. Well, the horns are currently.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, 4 of them just seem to let that go. The one of them in the trees closest to Lalita over here just goes, "Ah!"
I'm a prisoner, it's fine.
By the way,
that one kind of like turns their arrow, like kind of like waves it in Lalita's direction. It's like, really? What about that one?
Domesticated trash.
my
And just a
God.
point blank, matter of fact way, because he just keeps saying it. It's just, that's all it is now.
By the way, I don't
Alistair,
mean to,
casual privilege.
I don't mean to tell you guys what
What's up? Oh, I don't mean to.
Then the other ones who can't tell the horn are probably just like, how racist is this dude?
Just stand.
I don't know. In a world like this, probably not. But I mean, on the other hand, so it's like they look over. It's like they're kind of giving Lalita the eye at this point, but it's not really clear whether they're giving them that eye because it's like, I see what you mean, or why the fuck did you laugh? What's wrong with you? But either way,
I don't mean to tell you guys what to do or anything, but I would suggest you read these books at some point. They might turn you on to a new life. Just look at our group here. Even this orc, and he points at Delilah, and this forest folk here, and he points at Lalita. Have joined our cause and found their way with the new god.
You know, forest folk is better than domesticated. I'll take it.
domesticated goat, yeah, kinda.
Also calling me
Yeah.
an orc.
Yes, our revered. The moment he's like,
You
this
sure those
orc,
guys are
and
gonna-
it's just to him like
Oh, the
looking
orc.
really flat. And Alistair's just like, yes, our revered father is definitely getting on in his glory years. If you'd like, though, we have more books for you
Yes.
to go and take from us.
He's just toss your coin, and he kind of like takes all 5 and just holds them back to Frank at once. He's just take this, toss your coins and go. We don't want to hear a single clink as you're leaving.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna toss all 76 fucking copper.
One at a time.
Yep, just the copper. Just going one at a time. I'm like, if you'd like, we can even take the time to break these down into bits.
It'll be quite fine. Just toss them.
Yeah, so just one at a time, all 76.
As domesticated trash.
Oh,
They don't actually seem to be looking at you.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Domesticated trash doesn't have money, so.
Okay, but would I seriously be carrying my silver with me?
Probably.
That's up to you. Basically, it depends on if you think your character would carry money so that they could buy things on a journey or not.
I don't think she carried the silver with her.
Okay, so she would carry like the copper.
Yeah.
Okay, so until you specifically note in that case, I will consider her as only having any copper that you have on you. So basically, like penny change sort of thing.
Well,
Yeah,
right,
I'd-
and my actual copper for my own thing. I just lost 22 copper too. So altogether, 98 copper pieces, one at a time. I'm gonna try and see if I can not clink with 5 silver though.
You'll probably be okay. Like clearly, if they had just made you empty your pockets, that'd be one thing. But they seem to be off-put by the idea of just robbing
Oh, yeah.
creatures too badly. They'll still rob you though.
We're gonna find out though if we can at least walk away from this encounter with that 15 silver.
Frank, how about you? You got 15 bits, 18 copper, and 5 silver. Do you carry all your money on you?
Sorry, I had myself muted. Yeah, trying to get away with the silver, but I throw in my copper and bits.
Kiddo. See, Miguel is the face man. He's a liar. Do you think he would try and bluff them and try and hold on to more than that?
I mean, honestly, I think he'd probably just sleight of hand them or have them in a thief pouch since his primary class is thief.
Okay. Who feels lucky?
Not me today. That was definitely not
Alright.
lucky getting mugged.
Me.
All right. Then where did he go? There he is. Hit me with that agility check. So +2. I believe he
Does
can.
he get a boon for being like specialized?
Yell. Oh.
Shit.
Does he get a
Alright.
boon for being specialized in skeezy stuff?
I mean,
I don't think a boon's gonna
It
help
might
that.
actually.
It actually,
a 5
well,
or 6.
It actually would. Yeah, 5. He has a 1/3 chance. Basically, normally I'd ask him to roleplay it out, but he's not here, so feel free to just hit me with that 1d6. If he gets 5 or 6, he might make it.
No.
Okay. So basically, he's like, "Well, gents, I mean, I'll give you everything I have, but I'm afraid there's not much." And he pulls out a few bits and he hands over 3 bits. He's, "I'm sorry, but as the leader of this, flock, I can't hold too much money, or else." And he kind of shifts, and you just hear clink. And they stare at him. Oh, there were also copper in here. Oh my goodness, I thought I'd gotten it all. So where's copper too?
He's gonna come back and be like, "What happened to my copper?" And it's just gonna be like, "We got robbed. We got robbed, and we were not fighting it out. No."
Okay, so let's see.
They made a pretty good profit off us.
Yeah, pretty good, honestly, all things considered. And so that's it there. All right. Well, get back on your way, ladies and gents.
Could we actually get that first aid though for Frank?
And he's, you know what? Yeah, you know what? And he looks over at the guy and he nods to his buddy. His mouth kind of opens like he's about to, call to him, but he stops himself. He's, "Go ahead. We know you want to." And he's, Of course." And he goes over and he starts applying some first aid to Frank, which I believe we saw was +1 hit point.
Hey man, we'll take it. This has not been a good
hit point is hit point.
It's better than that.
It's better than just being robbed.
So Frank gets 1 hit point, but gets 1 hit point restored.
And he says, "Blessings of the new god upon you."
He's, "And you."
Frank, pass him the book. Because
When I get up from where he was applying the stuff to me, I put one of the books down. That's what I was in.
All right. Well, feel free to deduct one of your books of the new god from your inventory in that case. And GM notes. Bandit has been given book of the new Linda, I mean God, by
The next time we come across them, we just wave a flag saying Linda. Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine.
Yup. Well,
Would you like some more book?
Some more book.
blessings be upon you, but again, do be mindful of the bushes. While we only left one of them, it was rather large.
The Swine King, yes. We'll keep an eye out. Be cautious. There are other bandits on these roads, and many don't take kindly to the destitute. He kind of says that last word with a little bit of guilt in his voice, but just the tiniest bit.
We appreciate your clemency in allowing us to continue on our pilgrimage with our lives.
Peace be with you. On your way.
Nobody liked this.
We load up and head out again.
On the road again.
I can't wait to get on the road again.
They probably
And the
feel
bandits.
so fucking guilty too. They're like, "Oh, we made such an okay haul, guys." Weeps.
We sure did rob those holy
at what
people that were
cost?
that were just trying to help the helpless.
And deliver books.
Yes, but at what cost? Suddenly they become moral. Just
Bunch of bandits out there preaching the word of Linda just because Frank happens to have scrawled over the words of the new god in every single book. It's a prophet of some sort. Meets up with a rude boy. I know, right? Anyways. So, before too long, too much longer, I should say.
You're robbed again.
You're robbed again! Now, you make it to the town of Hamlet. There we go. Okay. So it's a pretty tiny community. Like, you're counting easily less than like 60 houses in this entire place, and that includes like homes that appear to be for multiple people and places of worship and that sort of thing. You can, like, as you kind of trot through town, you can see a poorly stocked general store. There's a pub, of course. There's a flop house where there's a few rooms you can stay in. It'll probably be a little bit better than sleeping on the street, but it's not sleeping on the street. So And there's also, of course, a temple of the new god. So good for you, Frank and Delilah. There's a fucking temple of the fucking new god here.
Yay!
Hooray.
What?
So, yeah. Mhm. So you're all arriving at the Hamlet of Hamlet. About 12:30 a.m. What are you doing for now?
So AM, so it's like night.
I mean, we can
yeah.
go and check into the Church of the New God, because they might be willing to take on some wayward travelers who also are carrying someone wounded. Maybe bequeath upon us some mercy. We need mercy. It has been a merciless journey. And you know, like healing. Give us some of them heals. Oh, right. Also, we're gonna split that 15 gold now between everyone. I think is a good idea. Yeah, or it's not 15 gold, 15 silver. The communal silver, because I just realized there's 3 of us. Or, sorry, there's 5 of us, so everyone gets 3
Where did the
each.
silver come from?
The fucking camp when we raided it. That's why I was like, I give away the copper without any fighting. It's because we had silver. Is that about good, though? Everyone gets 3 each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sounds good.
There we go.
Right. Feel free to add those to your sheets.
And then we just have to deal with the... I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure we should give, like, the painted longbow to, like... Lalita.
Maybe the person who uses it.
Yeah, and the 30...
Delilah's rich.
and the 30 arrow. I mean, we were a lot richer before we got fucking robbed.
Delilah's still rich. Well, probably richer than she's ever been.
It's like, hey, actual money. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fine, because they didn't expect the domestic trash to be carrying money.
Yeah. Literally, it's like, oh, they're priests. Oh, and they also hate people who aren't just like
Sasha.
us. They're really just like us.
Sasha, I have the
Except for-
shady coin in my inventory.
Yeah, the
The
what?
shady coin. I totally could have passed that off to them.
It's true, you could have.
That probably could have blown up the thing, though, if one of them just got suddenly yeeted into, like, a coin screaming, though.
Divine intervention.
Would you like more of our money, good sirs? We have plenty to give.
It's Linda's word. It's Linda's will.
Just be aware, the new
Yeeted into the next dimension.
god isn't happy when people try and rob us, but we're not going to try and stop you.
Oh, yeah, just, like, if they try and rob us again, just like, oh, good sirs. And we have freshly come back from town with supplies and rations, and yet here you are again. Flicks coin over the guy, just catches it, like, yeah, just... Oh yeah, so we're gonna try and sell this sour wine and weathered knife, right? That's definitely gonna be a... I mean, the knife we can probably try and pawn off. Our burb knife. Our twin burb knife. But, like, I think we're gonna need our good buddy there, Miguel / Tulio, Magulio, to, like...
Magulio, you're probably going to need Magulio to do
the wine.
to do exceptional selling.
Yeah.
Also, you know, can always sell my old longbow if I take the
The painted one?
paint.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That is always a
pretty mellow. You do it.
Paintings give no tactical advantage.
No, but they make them look
It looks
faster. They just paint like flames on the side. It's fine. Arrows go faster.
You are kidding. You're kidding, right? Like,
pretty
if,
colors might distract somebody.
if they happen to have like red paint on there, it's good for Delilah because orcs go faster with the color red.
God.
They also charge at it.
I don't think that's orcs you're talking about.
Yeah, they like hate it when you wave stuff in front of their eyes.
Yeah. So you arrive at the Church of the New God around 12:30, and it's closed
God,
because it's 12:30 a.m.
you know what? We're gonna... I'm like, okay, Frank, it's time to initiate the most pressing of operations. I need you to pound on the front door and shriek sanctuary. If there's anyone there,
Oh my god.
just sanctuary, I beseech you in the name of the new god, we have someone wounded here. And, you know, provide it with all of that zeal and that devotion, because we need to save this man's life. And, like, internally, Alistair's also like, and get somewhere free to stay tonight, and our wounds healed. And save this man's life!
We need to help him live.
Oh,
Fucking the most
This totally
shameless.
isn't, you know, something selfish. This is completely for the man.
This
right?
is entirely for his benefit. This is the most
Selfless thing.
I'm trying to there's an actual proper altruistic. This is the most altruistic thing we have done yet.
Maybe the most altruistic thing Alistair's done yet.
would Frank know if any people stay in the church overnight?
Sometimes it honestly depends on where you go. Like some places definitely will. Some places, sometimes they lock up because they're not required to. Is the thing.
But sometimes they'll also live in there,
Yeah.
etc. So there's a chance. And we're gambling on that chance right now.
All right, and Frank knocks loudly and yelling, "Is anybody here? We need help in the name of the new god."
Okay. So, the question is about how long. Is that just all you're gonna do, or are you gonna keep trying and like hitting on the door to try and like? If it doesn't work at first, do you plan to do this for a few minutes?
Oh, I will totally take up post and help too, and start banging on the door, being like, "Sanctuary!" Ah.
Probably for about a minute, 30 seconds or so.
I mean, I'm gonna continue on, and then I'm gonna I'd be like, "Okay, Delilah, I need you to get in on this. You need to like keep these."
Delilah, call for the favor of the new god.
Oh no, I'm just like Delilah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Delilah, I need you to pound on this door and wake up some priests in the middle of the night. I don't need you to say anything or plead or whatever like the rest of it. Just pound on this door and wake up some priests, please.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just like, "Sanctuary, we have someone wounded who might be dying here." Blah, blah.
Okay, so after about 2 minutes or so, you hear a of wood moving from one of the nearby houses, and you see kind of an older lady, maybe like, and I'm talking like older, like past 70, like Frank's age, except unlike Frank, who has at least kept up his his physique and his training to a degree and that sort of stuff. She's kind of like a sad, rotten apple. So most of her skin is like in folds and kind of furling off her face. She has a very squinted expression. Her nose kind of almost looks like it's about to point out and then just droops down so far it's almost touching her upper lip. And there's a giant wart sitting on top of one of her eyebrows, almost like obscuring like a quarter of the eyebrow. And she just looks outside and looks out and just goes, "Shut up!"
Are you the abbess?
No!
Okay, would you know where the abbot or abbess is?
Vicar Brian would be at home because it's an ungodly hour.
We have someone who was mauled half to death by wargs, and he needs medical attention now.
Then you should have left him to the wargs.
They're dead. We killed them.
I don't see how that's the issue of honest people getting an honest sleep.
Well, I'm honestly going to keep making a ruckus until we're given directions.
Guys!
Shit.
I mean, no, that's fine.
It's not like we're.
Yes, please, guards. At least maybe they'll be able to help us.
So, and so rather than guards, it's more of a guard. So, one guard, looking like he's at least slightly better equipped than the so-called guards that were actually bandits, is kind of like blearily walking through the street with just the most fuck-off expression that you can think of for some random guy. Just kind of like, he kind of looks like he wants his gaze to be able to make things disappear. Because he just slowly walks through and just approaches all of you, teeth visibly grinding.
By the way, we have the writ from the Inquisition, right? That we're like here on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's just like at this point.
One thing I should clarify with you in advance is the writ to the Inquisition lets you do certain very specific things. It does not make you important.
Oh, I
means
realized
that
this.
Important people want you to handle something specifically, which means that certain people, for certain things, will let you get away with anything that relates directly. But saying something is directly related when it doesn't seem to be will get you nowhere.
Oh no, we're just gonna mention that we're specifically on this town because of business related to the Inquisition, and we're simply trying to address with the leftovers of said business in the form of said.
Well, do so.
Yeah, okay. It's
So,
like a.
This guy's like approaching, just looking like he's just going to stab one of you in the face just because it will make him feel better, but probably not going to do that, probably.
Excuse me, sir. Could you actually help us here? We're trying to find the vicar. We're here on behalf of the Inquisition to handle an issue of an infestation of darkness in the woods, which we believe is a number of fomor, like the sort that mauled this fellow, pointing at the guy who's like half dead and probably hanging off the horse still. And
you're
the
saying
rest
about
of us.
You're seeing about 25% of the words that you're saying actually entering his head, as most of it just flows over his skull.
Vicar, please.
Come back in the morning when the church opens.
This fellow will be dead by then.
Then head to a flop house and get him some rest so he can go comfortably.
Are you not able to direct us where the vicar is?
Vicar's resting.
Frank!
Maybe you aren't quite used to how things work in a decent town, but we put in our hours and then we stop working. Once we stop working, we're not on the job anymore.
Oh, see, the new god is a tireless sort, and his mercy generally doesn't simply hang up its hat and stop, which is why we bothered to retrieve this man from the woods instead of that lovely neighbor's suggestion to leave him to the wargs and watch him die.
He looks over. Mrs. Grindelwald. That's keeping me up! I can see that.
We would like to go to sleep as well. We had a very long, tiring day of killing the fomor haunting your countryside.
He sort of slowly lifts his gloved hands and just goes,
And also getting robbed by bandits on the way right outside of
now,
town.
at the word bandits, on the other hand, his eyes open just slightly. He looks over. Excuse me.
You have a bunch of bandits, 5 of them, camped outside town pretending to be guards who are also robbing passerbys. I figured you were probably aware of them since they're doing that, and that was just part of how this town runs things, especially given our reception so far.
Oh, for the new god's sake.
He looks like he's pondering something at this point. Honestly, what he's most likely pondering is it worth it to go out there and do something about it this late at night?
Oh, by the way, since we were like up there talking with them and etc. Hey Frank, could you give a description of any of them since you passed off like the book to them?
Yeah, describe.
Yeah.
I describe how the bandits look, I guess.
All right, so with the most dramatic sigh that you think this man can muster, it lasts about 4 seconds and gets gradually deeper. He slowly brings out a little pad, gets the whole thing, and he kind of bounces his inkwell on the pad and dunks the pen and pops the quart back in and kind of splashes some ink on his hand. He looks just about ready to put the pen in somebody's eye, and then he sketches out there's got to be 10 words there maybe for every description you just made, and he just shoves it all in his pocket at once.
Report noted.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you could point at just the general direction of the priest's house, it would be greatly appreciated.
Especially since we are escorting a devout member of the new god's faith. And I gesture towards Frank, which is part of why the bandits showed such clemency, is they're unfond of robbing destitute members of clergy.
He seems to ponder it. Someone roll me a flat d20.
Casting wasn't so fucking obvious. I'll try to give myself a boon here. Holy shit!
You fail. Anyways,
That was a nat 20, folks.
he's
I'm gonna be close to the vicar's house. If you bother him for more than 2 minutes, you're leaving town. That understood.
Perfectly. Thank you.
Understood.
This way.
and he trudges off, leading you through the so many houses. Now, the vicar himself doesn't live in a very big house. It's like got a few more amenities to it, but most of those are just like propping up like idols. So Delilah gets the wonderful faceful like, hey, look, new god here, new god there, new god everywhere. It's great.
I mean, I'm just picturing.
Oh,
it's just
yay.
like Delilah being like, I'm gonna defile that. I'm gonna wreck that. It's
Which
like
is
a bucket
ironic when you
list.
think about it, but anyways. But anyways, so yeah, like it's a holy site, obviously. And the guard is the one who actually walks up to the door, and he kind of like puts the side of his glove and just Fuck O'Brien, I'm sorry to waken you this time of night. You're trying to get your booty sweep. But we got some visitors from out of town claiming they're doing the new guard's work. Wanting to talk to you. Claim it's something important. He kind of, waits for a moment. Parker Bryan, hate to wake you, sir. Another 30 seconds or so pass. He shrugs and turns back around. He always was a deep sleeper.
Mind if we try once or twice?
As long as you don't create a racket that wakes up the whole bloody town. Like you was before.
Well, now that we know he's here, not in a large church, we'll be certain to keep things a lot quieter.
He takes a few steps back from the door and he... By all means.
I leave
Oh,
it to you,
I guess Frank.
Frank just walks to the door.
Exercise that faith muscle.
Will always love Linda.
I guess he tries to knock in a reasonable way that wouldn't wake up everybody, but louder than the other guy. And says, in the name of the new god, we need help.
Yeah, it's not too much longer, but there continues to be no response from inside.
Does he have like a window we can knock on?
There is a window, yeah.
Oh. I mean, yeah, go knock on a window, and you know what's the other thing? Since the guy's there and can watch this, it's just like, lantern? Lantern lift my window, because
true.
no one likes
Though,
the
when you
early
lift
sun.
when you lift the lantern and look inside, you see a kind of a den. Not like a monster's den with like, you know what I mean. A regular den, yes.
No, just like a living room. Okay, well, I take it he's not
Is
sleeping
there
in the
a
den.
room, a window closer to his bedroom that we could knock on?
Oh, there is a window in his sleeping room as far as I'm aware, but it doesn't face the wall.
That's fine. It's still gonna be an awful early sun. It's fine. Frank, lead the way of walking around the building.
Obviously, it takes you
square
like
shape.
seconds to get around the wall, basically. And you're not seeing another window.
Well,
Oh.
I take a guess at where his bedroom might be compared to
Wait,
the
what's
den,
that?
and try
Oh,
to
that-
knock on the wall there.
Well, the bedroom is almost assuredly where you're standing now. Like, you don't see any window here, but the guy did say his window doesn't exactly face the outside. Or it doesn't, like, face the normal direction, basically.
Okay.
Oh, I look down or up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
was most
it's
likely
a
on the ceiling.
roof one.
Or on the roof.
So also, Lovey is like muted.
Yes.
Is the guard like watching us right now? That we're.
I
like,
was
circled
so
around the building?
confused
Okay.
because by
Okay,
that I thought y'all
um,
meant like an inner window, and I was like, why does this guard know that he has a window?
I mean, 'cause he's
He just wants to
probably
see
hung out.
into the other room.
Your soul.
Look, I had a window
Wants to see
in an
into your
inner
soul.
room in one of my houses. Okay.
Very
That's
fair
because
enough.
you're a rich
mean-
kid.
Mine
Uh-huh.
is an inner room and has a window to like a back room. It's interesting.
Could we stack on top of each other and reach the roof?
I mean,
I don't think the guard... You can take a wild shot in the dark. The guard is going to be very annoyed if you try and stack yourselves up onto the roof.
I mean, even if we stacked ourselves up adjacent to the roof, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be having it.
All right,
Though it would be hilarious to have.
We just knock hard on the wall to try to wake him up from his where we think the wall of his bedroom is.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess while you're doing that, I'm gonna shuffle towards where the den is and shine the light, so in case he like wakes up, he'll just see this light shining.
So basically, you knock on the wall. Unfortunately, it's a lot worse than knocking on a door because it doesn't echo or make any sound. It's just thud, thud, thud. So you actually make less noise here, but it might be closer to him, so that might help.
And I guess I'll gently knock on the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
After-
you serve the new god, you need to make
Get your ass out here!
appearance.
In the name of Linda! And yeah, it's about a minute later. There's still no response.
Oh my god.
He's dead!
Well,
He is dead.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
You're right. It would. You've played with me before. You know that wouldn't be the first time.
Or he's out with prostitutes!
a
no.
In
a church
in this
character
Hamlet?
in this game out with prostitutes. You're crazy.
No, Lovey, though.
I mean, it's a very
In this-
different way of spreading
You
the word of
said
the new god.
prostitutes. You said prostitutes plural. This is a Hamlet. There's like a village bicycle, and that's it.
There might be like a prostitute. Like there's not even quite enough there to call it prostitute.
Oh no.
Well,
Actually, the woman who is like yelling at us, the one who looked like she was melting.
That's her.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
yeah.
That lady is 24. She just, you know. But anyways, so the guard is sitting there
appreciate
looking.
you helping us, Mr. Guard, but it seems the priest may be dead and died in his sleep or something.
He isn't. Vicar Brian isn't dead. I told you he's a heavy sleeper. Always has been. No one's been able to wake him during the night. But he always comes out fresh as a daisy come morning.
Sounds suspicious to me.
Every night.
It just sounds better if we just go sleep.
Okay, are we just gonna like drop the mostly wounded guy?
I mean, we can keep him with us for.
Does this town have an inn?
Let's go to
Has a
Flophouse.
flop house.
Over there.
The thing is, though, I guess we're going to be footing the bill for this guy to die in his sleep.
Yep. Or you can just leave him on the ground outside.
Oh,
Probably.
Seely.
That'll go over so well.
Oh, Seely. There's the mental image of just like having him like giving him to the line and be like, okay, I want you to try taking him to try fetching some herbs to go and heal. And it's like very quietly, no, just prop him up outside the vicar's house. So the vicar walks out in the morning. Fresh as a daisy. Oh my god.
Why is there a corpse man on my doorstep?
You know, for someone who wants to tie people up a lot, you haven't taken the opportunity of this unconscious man.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
I think that's a different context. I hope it is.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What the fuck, man?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
The fuck? All I'm thinking right now is like Queenie might be a little bit too much into that rigor mortis.
Oh dear. How horrifying.
Maybe. All together is possible.
God is heavy.
God.
God is disappointed in us.
It's very Frank's the only one left who gets any fucking we're going Harvey Weinstein. Oh thank God, we can still go to heaven. Everybody else, no, we can't. All right, so, or fucking not Harvey Weinstein. Dear God, the fucking Family Feud guy.
Steve Harvey.
Thank you. I knew there was a Harvey in there. Fucking disrespecting that poor man's name. Fuck Harvey Weinstein.
Wow.
Fuck off. He's the one who came to mind. He's the only Harvey I've heard about recently.
I'm judging you so much.
Get fucked.
How can you mix
I
up
say this-
Steve Harvey? He's
I
got
say this
the
because
mustache.
I say this because I feel I deserve the judgment, but I just don't know names. Ugh. Ugh.
It's
It'll
excuse
burn
me.
my
You
fucking
realized
tongue
your
off.
mistake and you repented.
Ugh. I'm still gonna feel gross all night. But anyway, guys, right. So You have this dying dude who's like not bleeding out anymore, barely, but like really, really, really could die pretty much any time. And then you have.
You know what? I'm going to send Delilah and God damn it, Mugulio to go and grab some herbs for this poor unfortunate soul, and take to the horses and ask the guard for directions to the flop house, and then we will meet there. And if the guard wants to accompany us to the flop house or whatever, that is fine. If he wants to investigate the bandits, that is also fine. Whatever. Also, very quietly though, it's like, if the guard follows us, just like, I don't know, could you pick the lock and leave this guy in the vicar's house? So we don't have to pay for it, and he at least like can pass out somewhere safe, or like anywhere, honestly. It doesn't have to be the vicar's house. Just leave him somewhere that we don't have to pay for because we just got robbed.
Leaves him at the church doors.
I mean, that's what some people have done.
Technically would be fair. Maybe just give him a blanket.
I mean, we don't have to give him a separate.
Just give him like, I don't know, a blanket. I mean, I think they're still going to make us pay per person if we go to a flop house. Yeah.
Isn't he like half eaten? How would they?
Yeah, do we get 50% off because he's
know.
missing 50% of his muscle mass?
It's possible, but unlikely.
Try being cannibalized today. 50% off.
Oh god.
Wow.
My job is to say cursed, apparently.
I mean, this entire train of thought is super fucking cursed.
Yeah, kinda.
Does anybody have a pocket dimension we can store him?
So I guess we head over to the flop house.
I mean, are we dropping this guy off, or are we?
I mean, I'm honestly like, what do you guys think we should do? Because logistically, we're not the greatest money-wise. The vicar is
Frank's not gonna
waking
just
up.
leave the guy outside at night who's dying.
Not if he knows.
That's why I also sent him to Delilah and Mugulio, because I figured they'd make the pragmatic and rational decision, whatever that is.
That was him.
And yeah, I mean, it's like if they can find a way to store him somewhere semi-safely, that's fine. If they can leave him to die near the vicar's house, you know what? I'll take it. If they manage to just like steal some blankets, wrap him up like a very sad sushi roll, and leave him on the church doors, you know what? I'm down with that. Operation Sad Sushi Roll actually sounds pretty great. Just like steal some horse blankets from the stable between like Magulio and like Delilah, and just the Sad Sushi Roll waiting for the vicar, who may or may not be alive and or dead when he arrives, is still pretty much a win. We tried.
Well, for Alistair.
I mean, yeah, for Alistair. It's definitely not a win for like Frank, but like I don't think Frank's feelings matter in this point.
Oof.
Yeah, Frank.
Oof.
Well, then I don't think saving you the next time you're about to get your ass fucking skewered matters, bitch.
Thank God there's like the difference between like Alistair's inner narration and like, man, and now I justify everything I did inside my head because I don't give a shit about discussing this with anyone else. So yeah. Hey Delilah.
I'd say Frank
Since it's
takes the engine guidance for the flop house.
Oh, you're actually okay. Well, it's like it's out of my hands now, and also not out of my pocket, so it's all fine.
All right.
It does mean we don't get to see a sad sushi roll corpse greet the vicar in the morning.
Does it?
Like a sad corpse roll, but you know. Yeah, I know.
That would be the
unless one of
saddest
you
of
want-
sushi rolls. Plus, it would be sushi because it would be pretty raw.
I mean, and not to mention, it'd be pretty fishy.
Yep.
You guys are getting on me about some cursed shit.
Maybe you're just inspiring us.
I mean, look,
I'm
they tell
okay
you
with
not to leave sushi out for too long. That'd be a little exposed to the elements and a great lesson of why you don't.
Yeah, it's no longer good for eating.
I mean, the FOMO might disagree with you there.
They do, but they'll eat like vomit. But I guess so. Off the flop post you go. So there's like sort of a frumpy-looking man sitting there, and he is like unconscious. Like it's if not for the bell above the door when you walked in, he probably could have just walked in and slept for free. But he's just like leaning against the back of the wall, and just like head against the wood. And so you walk in, this little bell goes ding, ding, and just chimes way too long. It's kind of unpleasant. But yes, this individual just opens both eyes, got a bit of a crick in his cheek, kind of like looks like his probably got it like hit in the face at one point, and it caused his cheek to rise up too high, never really set properly. Kind of gives him a look like he's confused. That away, or maybe he is confused. He just woke up. That way, he brushes some crumbs off his tub of a belly. Afternoon. He stops and he looks at the window. Evening.
Evening. But do you happen to have anything you could do for this fellow? Maybe something we could wrap on his wounds or something?
Well, he looks at the guy. You're joking, right? He's a dead man flopping.
If he could survive until the morning, he might not be.
If he can survive until the morning.
I mean, he survived being eaten by wargs. Multiple. And the journey here.
I don't know what a warg is.
Well,
I don't think I might care.
Well, I'll be sleeping in is it like, I don't really know what a flop house is. It was where they're like hammocks.
They're like hostels, I think.
Yeah, basically, imagine like, you know how an inn has like separate rooms and like you need to go in there and they've got a bed there for you and it's not like super spiffy or whatever, but you know, you have like a pillow and maybe some place to store your shit. A flop house is basically, imagine lumpy sleeping bags kind of thrown on the floor and you kind of cram as many in as is feasible. Then you give each one like kind of a pillow if you've got one, or some folded up cloth if you don't, and basically you sleep there.
Kind of like.
Okay. How much is
You're less private with.
Okay. How much is a place to flop down in this place?
Let's see. How many are you? He lifts up fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he looks over and he looks at the. Oh my god! Now I'm only thinking of her name is Letitia. For fuck's sake.
Lalita.
Lolita. No. Let me. No.
Lolita. It's great.
Ew.
You've broken him.
I broke him by saying Lolita too.
Just kind of in you. All right. So yeah, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and he looks at the guy on the ground. He's 5. And then he looks up at Lalita and goes 6, 7, 8.
Wait, I believe you have miscounted, my friend.
Oh, I don't think I have.
Is she still wearing the turban?
I know our orc friend has gained a little weight, but I don't believe she counts as 3 extra people.
I didn't expect that. Frank, what do we got here? Make me an intellect check.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
He looks over to Lila. You an orc?
No.
Didn't think so. But you did bring an animal in here. Pets cost extra.
Can we get a discount for our buddy here he takes up less space?
And he's probably infested with diseases, which are worse for my other patrons.
Hey, what they don't know won't hurt them.
Wait a second. Here's a question.
God, Frank.
Sasha, here's a question, and this is since I gotta do this for our good pal, is there any signs of other patrons giving that this is a fucking Hamlet?
There's like 2 other people probably. Like you can see into the next room where people are sleeping, and there's like 2 people.
Okay, so currently there's 2 other patrons. You are getting. Let's allow the Frank's little. I don't even charity work to count.
Well, for the what don't know what hurt him thing, make me another intellect check and continue.
But right now you are going to be making, at the very least, 3 times more than you typically would, possibly for a few days. I would rather prefer you not gouge us because, frankly, we are currently here on behalf of the Inquisition, and whilst it would be entirely plausible to ask for help from the revered father from here, we do try and work with the locals to bring at least some business to the towns as we pass through, provided they're of the charitable sorts and not, well.
So you say you're here trying to drum up business, is that it? Frank, did you just get the same roll twice?
Oh, Frank.
I'm just unlucky today and everything.
You're just really, really apparently derpy today. Those intellect rolls are awful.
You know, seriously, those not fuck it. I find it clever. He points at Lalita. I must have counted twice. 7. Which is still 1 more of you than there actually is, but he did point at Lalita and say 1, 2, 3, so now he's only counting her twice.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take it. That's fine. I mean, it's coming out of Lalita's purse anyway,
If
but like...
you prefer the domesticated trash, we'll be out.
Hey, that one's all up to you.
He shrugs. Fine by me. Less fleas.
Sleep well. The best part is when I popped, like, my rib cage just popped too. Bodies make horrible
Our
noises.
bodies are nightmares. They're wet bacon. Wet electric bacon.
What?
Our aliens falling apart.
What the fuck?
Why would you even
We are
say
wet
that?
electric bacon.
I'll take it.
Sasha, please.
Anyway, it's... Alright, well, it's 5 bits a piece. And if the pet's not here, then I only count 5. And he leans over and goes, and you know what? 4.5. Because you're right. What they don't know won't hurt them. So as long as he's out of here, first thing in the morning, I don't mind.
I'll thank you for the service.
5 bits apiece, 2 for him.
All right,
Now,
Ken.
Alistair probably wouldn't know this because he's, privileged. But Delilah, do you stay in a lot of inns and flop houses, or do you just tend to like sleep outside and be like, well, if you're gonna kill me, fucking do it?
No, she stays in a lot of inns.
Okay, so the usual price for like a decent accommodation is about $1, but obviously enough for places like this, they don't charge too much because they don't really get a lot in here that do that sort of thing. So he probably has a job outside of this. So it's a decent deal already, but he was being a prick, obviously. But what are you gonna do?
Kill him in his sleep.
Who are you, my goldfish?
Sleep.
Yes. I am your goldfish.
Okay. So here's the small issue, guys. We don't have bits and copper.
You got
do we?
silver coins. It's a 10-to-1 ratio.
Split a silver.
Yeah, it's a 10-to-1. So
He looks pleased, but he's certainly.
yeah.
I hand him 1 silver and say, "Yeah, split this up for us. I guess I'll just cover it and you guys owe me."
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I'll just steal it from you guys.
Sure.
No, because here's the thing. It's like, yes, that sounds great, Frank. And then we're just like expecting Frank's like complete fucking like brain destruction to like destroy his memory of this moment. Just the word of that. Senility. senility.
Considering my memory in real life, I might forget about it actually. But for now,
Yeah, I know, right?
You may want
I
to
hand them over 1 silver.
I believe that should probably. Yeah, I mean, you just handle the silver. Are you getting your change back? You're just gonna be like, that'll cover us for our stay for as many days as we need.
I hand them the silver and calculate out for 1 month. Not a month. A day.
A month.
Yeah, a day's stay is what he said.
Month.
Basically, if you're gonna stay for another night after this, it'll be twice that.
I will bum off of the
Which
church for the third
5.5,
night.
4.5. I think Magulio would be proud of it. Less so for us getting robbed, but he'd be proud of the aftermath. I mean, maybe if we like are well prepared and we meet them again, we can rob them back.
Hey guys, we're not gonna kill you because you didn't kill us, unless of course you ain't gonna. Unless you're not gonna give us the money you have, then we'll have to kill you. Yorga, I have successfully split the silver, and I've made a note in Frank's thing talking about how he's owed 27 silver.
Okay, thank you.
Or 22. Or not silver, fuck, bits.
22 copper? Bits.
22 silver,
bits.
fuck
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
mean, fuck that.
it's like a silver for all of you. Get fucked.
That would be an interesting.
I mean, it seems odd. It seems canon for senility. I lent you guys some bits, and the ratio of bits to gold is 10 gold per 1 bit, right? No.
Maybe, except, no.
No. Yes, but it's 1 copper per 10 bit. So we're going to give you this copper.
That or yes, but actually no. And as it is 10:40, I am going to be calling it there tonight.
Well. It seems like past experiences has instilled a little bit of. What's the word? Pragmatism. Or perhaps it's just sweetened their taste for vengeance. Who knows what'll happen if we run across our little bandit friends again? Oh, but how likely is that to happen? In a lonely road like this. Well, I suppose we'll find out next time.
There should be more of an outro here, but it's been a while since we did this, so forgive me. But yeah, in the meantime, have a good evening, folks, or day, or whatever, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Windmill's Wake.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.
On the Discord.